Welcome to the Sex, Money, and Real Estate Podcast, the show for real estate couples about how to close more deals in the bedroom. My name is Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And each week we deep dive into juicy, intentional, sexy conversations, sharing with you what it takes to create balance in your intimate relationships and your real estate business. Thank you so much for being here. Shall we begin?
Hey, baby.
What's happening? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Jam Fam.
Hello.
What's going on out there in the big wide world? Remember that show, Peep in the Big Wide World?
Yes. My gosh.
I love that show, Peep in the Big Wide World. If you've never seen that or heard of it and you have small children, like really small, go to YouTube and look at it used to be on PBS. It's a show called Peep and the Big Wide World. And it is absolutely fantastic. Joan Cusack? Yeah,
John Cusack's sister.
Yeah, is like the narrator, creator, whatever of it. And it's, kids love it. And it's hysterical for adults too.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
It is. It's one of those cartoons that is very satisfying for adult.
Yeah,
humor.
I wish that it was still around. And it takes me back. So that's cool.
It is. It's on YouTube. It's forever there.
Okay, cool. I'll put some in my watch later list.
Nice.
Cool. So what's going on today?
So today I wanted to share a little bit of magic, a little bit of listener love. And so we define magic as how have you influenced yourself, others, or life in an empowering way. And so we have influenced others to influence herself to share magic about the podcast. And so this lovely light being shared a review with us. It's a 5-star review on Apple and or iTunes. And so we're super excited about that. And we really appreciate the 5-star reviews for sure, because it lets us know what's going on and what's up and how you feel about us. So if you are inspired to also write us a review, go to iTunes or I guess your favorite podcast listener and wherever that is, and share with us a review. So this one is from Ms. Nina E. And she writes, "Spicy podcast show. Emoji, fire, fire, fire." Bill and Nancy have a fantastic, real, and transparent podcast. It's so informative. They share the real life stuff, the highs and lows. I'm so excited for what messages they will share with us in the future. I challenge you to take a listen now. Smiley faced, strong arm. Boom, baby. So yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Nina E. We truly appreciate that.
That's fantastic.
And everybody that's written a review for us. So
and we appreciate everybody who is going to write a review.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
All of it. Yeah. So I'm complete. Thank you.
Awesome. I'll do. I got some quick magic, it's around our son Rex. He chose. We go on a 4-mile run. Him and I and you and Lucas and a whole bunch of us in our community go for a run. 4 miles every single week. And last week, Rex had the opportunity to go kayaking with one of his buddies.
Mm-hmm. So it was super fun for him to go up to the mountains and go kayaking. And
totally.
nature.
And amongst all this stuff, to hang out with his friends and,
yep.
all amazing. And, he wanted to go and it's no problem. Go hang out, do your thing. Mm-hmm. So it was awesome. And he realized that he was missing the 4-mile run and took himself on his own solo 4-mile run, which was a first, the next day. Mm-hmm. And he had a great time with it.
Mm-hmm. He had a great time. And he finished in like 40 minutes.
Yeah, he was pretty fast about it too. I know, he was pretty fast.
I was like, oh my gosh, you're back already? He's like, yeah, it's a piece of cake. I was like, nice. And, we live in a part of Atlanta that definitely has hills, for sure.
Yep. So that was cool. I was really inspired by him and doing that because he's come a long way. I mean, we all have,
surrendered.
Yeah. And, the surrender to do that and to be present to the fact that that was something that he wanted to do and went out and did it. I thought was amazing as well.
Yeah. Kept the commitment to himself, stayed in integrity with the commitment to himself and influenced himself to go out on a run, 4 miles no less, and then obviously to have a great time. And I think it was at like, wasn't it in the afternoon or something too? So it wasn't exactly.
Oh, it
Cool.
was. It was like
It
in the
was like-
middle
yeah.
of the afternoon. It was like a 90-degree day
Yeah,
or
and
something,
he
or
was
90
like,
plus.
okay,
It's
cool.
probably, I mean, it's Atlanta for God's sakes. It was
Yeah.
probably like 95 and humidity, with the humidity like 101. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And
It was great.
Yeah, he pulled it off
Mm-hmm.
easily.
Yep.
Effortlessly.
Yes.
Cool. So that's what I got. So that was cool. You know, I thought it was really cool. I know
Mhm.
I share a lot of kid magic on this show, and I just I really appreciate being the example to them and them picking up what we're laying down and taking it on and watching it grow as they mature. It's
Mhm.
fantastic. I love their habits.
Absolutely. And the really cool thing is they actually really don't know how much that's going to impact and influence their life until a little bit later.
No, but we keep reminding them.
Okay, cool. So speaking of heat and thermostats.
Yes.
Ooh. Bum, bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum.
I got to check the nest or something.
No.
Oh,
What are we talking about today?
well, just like the title says, an exercise to increase your financial thermostat.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just one exercise, folks. We have multiple exercises to assist you in increasing your financial thermostat. And we're going to challenge you to stay to the end because we're doing our first giveaway today. Aren't you guys excited? You
All right.
turned in?
Do it again. Dun, 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 dun.
Bum, ba, ba, ba. Brrrr.
Cool. Yeah, we'll do that for sure.
Mhm.
And let's talk about what a financial thermostat is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
You know,
Go for it.
and it's a pretty common term, I think, these days. When I
Mhm.
first heard financial thermostat or like a financial ceiling, I didn't really know what people were talking about. And it's become a lot more mainstream for sure. A financial thermostat is really how high or how low your thermostat is set to give or to receive money, really,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, and to give. Yeah.
Or to give money.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I like
Yeah.
to think of it as like the average temperature, and I'm air quoting here. It's like the average temperature where you rest at in terms of your money. So
Right.
whatever that average is. So like Bill was saying, the amount of money that you make or the amount of money that you spend or the amount of money you save, or really it's the level of wealth in which you feel that you deserve
Yeah, what
from
you're
this
worth, yeah.
current point of understanding. Yeah, what you feel that you're worth. So, and honestly, you know, through different practices and our coaching clients, unless you really address it, like where that level is, like if you want to experience an increase in your financial thermostat or to raise it, unless you address where you are now, then it's going to create all kinds of emotion. It's just going to come up, whether it's fear, anxiety, angst,
Mhm.
pain, crying, sweating, feeling awkward, feeling like, you know, that pit in your stomach or whatever kind of emotion. I mean, it really is like the full gamut of emotion, except for joy and happiness, that you're truly limitless and abundant in all things, and that scarcity is truly an illusion, and it's fascinating. So yes, we're definitely sharing some exercises that we've incorporated into our daily life and businesses that have dramatically, proportionally, directly increased our financial thermostats and subsequently our bank accounts. So for sure, to the degree that we're at a whole nother level. Like, I mean, it's like you work out with your body and you're exercising certain parts of your body or the totality of your body, you're going to see direct proportion or change in directly proportionate to the amount of exercise or the totality in which you rep your body. So, and the habits that you have and the mindset that you have about exercise and really the overall relationship to it. So that's what this is.
Yeah, so, you know, it's pretty easy to spot once you know what it is. You know, take a look at your, you know, if you're a real estate or a mortgage person listening to this podcast, you know, take a look at what your average sales are and your average commission, and then look at the average of what you can keep in the bank
Yep.
on average.
Yep.
If you're, you know, whatever your job is, if you're in you're an employee somewhere, then look at your salary and then look at what you keep in the bank and look at the proportion of that.
Yep. Or the value of your wherever you're living. So the value of your house. So let's say your value of the house that you live in is $250,000, and then you start thinking about, or your apartment that you're living is roughly $1,500 a month, and all of a sudden you start living in a $3,000 apartment, or a $5,000 apartment, or a $500,000 house, or a $750,000 house, then all of a sudden, where do you start feeling that angst?
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with a coaching client the other day, and she's living in an apartment right now. She's fine paying $1,200 for an apartment, but then her and her boyfriend were talking about moving to an area of town that would garner a $400,000 sale price. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can't do a $400,000 sale price. Da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And so therein, she immediately identified where she literally started that conversation. I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. Or, I don't make that much money, or I don't deserve that. I mean, that's a $400,000 house is a lot to a lot of people. So boom, there's your financial thermostat.
Absolutely. And we are not in any way implying that because you own a $400,000 house or a $500,000 house that your financial thermostat or your maturity to money and finances is high or low.
Correct.
This is just an example.
Yeah.
I mean, go read the book and learn about the millionaire next door.
Mm-hmm.
Guys who have super high maturity with their finances and those resources. And those guys on average, they drive an F-150 Ford truck. And
Yeah,
it's
pickup
usually,
truck.
and it's usually like 10 years old or older.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they're millionaires,
Mm-hmm.
millionaires plus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily, so what I'm really, the point is, it's an example. It's not necessarily an example to see where you're at, not necessarily an example to see to look at how everybody is, I'm finger quoting now too, living,
Mm-hmm.
got to be like the Joneses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an assessment,
Yeah,
it's just an assessment.
Because you have to assess. I mean, this is I feel like this is where you're going with this. You have to assess where you are before you can identify where you want to go.
Yes.
Because unless you have a inkling of whatever your baseline is, then you don't necessarily know how to expand, where to expand to, and all of those types of things.
Yep. Cool.
I think that's great.
So the bottom line is money is energy, right? It's
Yes.
currency.
Absolutely. Current.
C. Yes, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And, the quote, now I read this quote a couple of days ago and I don't really remember where I read it from. So if you actually wrote this quote, we'll give you credit and let us know. When you raise your game, you raise your beliefs, you raise your energy, and you raise your thermostat.
Yeah. That's it.
So you ready, babe?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Let's
right,
do this.
Let's do it. All right. So what is the first thing?
Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I cannot express this enough. Everything flows out of gratitude. So you thank money for showing up, or you thank money that it's on its way, or thank you money for allowing me to use it. Thank you money for allowing me to manage it. Thank you money for allowing me the space to multiply it. It could look like a gratitude entry in your gratitude journal about money. And I mean, use your five senses. Not that you would taste money, but I love the smell of money, or I love how money feels, or I love, fidgeting with coins, or counting it, or whatever it is. Like, take your gratitude through on the money, and I'm grateful for money and for these 10 things, and just go and then list all of the ways that you're grateful for money showing up. I'm grateful for money, what it affords us to do, to fund the perfect life, to give to charities, and to support people and functions that I believe in, whatever you have in terms of expressing gratitude and appreciation for money. It's really important, because what you focus on expands.
Yes, exactly. Number 2, check your language, babe.
Yes.
Energy is language. Money is energy. Language is energy. So write down the 5 most common limiting words or phrases that you or the people you hang out with use about money.
Because then you'll be able to identify your lower vibrating energy words, or your lower vibrating energy, the lack, the scarcity consciousness around money. Things like I need, or I
or
want.
I'm trying. I wish.
I should. That's a great one.
Oh, I should.
Stop shoulding all over yourself.
Yes.
I should do this with my money, or I should do this, but nah, I'm going to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, or thinking you know something also could be a big one.
Yeah, I think that's actually worse than I don't know. Is, well, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. I mean, it just shuts everything down, shuts down all the possibilities when you know something.
Exactly.
So once you've identified all of those things that you're saying, or your folks are saying, your community, your people that you hang out with, number 3, stop using them.
Right.
Stop using those words and replace them with things like I have, or I'm grateful for, I appreciate, I choose.
Or, I love. I love. Use that one. That one, you look at the consciousness scale, that resonates at 500. I mean, that's high consciousness right there. I love the money in my life. I love the money that's coming to me. I love the money that I create.
Yep. All of that. Yes.
I love the money that goes around and comes around. I mean, all of it, And so along those, and the bonus in that one is just to be grateful for all the abundance in your life. I mean, and if you're feeling a little low and not feeling very abundant, go take a look at all the grains of sand or all the blades of grass and tell me that you're not surrounded by a form of abundance. And if you can really be grateful for the level of abundance in just the blades of grass that are around you, then you realize that the abundance of money and everything else is just the same because it's all the same all around you.
Yeah, because it's all energy.
Yep.
We were walking out of the gym the other day, and I was looking at this tree on the way to the parking lot, and I stopped you and I was like, oh my gosh, look at the abundance of pine cones on that tree. And I started counting them, and I just started at the top, and I got to like 2 or 3 branches, and I was already beyond 50. And then it was one of these super tall loblolly pines or something like that. It was, 50, 60 feet tall. And it probably had 2,000, 5,000. I mean, it was covered. It was so amazing. And it simply affirmed that there is abundance all around. And that was simply one tree, one example in one parking lot in one street.
Right. And I think we might have used this other example of counting yourself in with abundance is, speaking of parking lots or driving, is if next time you're on the freeway or the highway or on any road really, especially if you're like in a little bit of a jam and a slowdown, take a look around at all the cars around you and start doing the math. How many millions of dollars of cars are you surrounded by at any given moment? Which means that you are surrounded by millions and millions of dollars at any given moment when you're driving around. Look at all the cars and trucks and and we're not just talking about Bugattis. I mean, we're talking all of it, Fords and Chevys and Lexuses, and I mean they're all around, and it's millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars surrounding you at all times. Yep.
So,
that was a great one.
Nice. And then I do like this. I do like this one, where, actually, we're just talking about now. I guess the 5 beliefs.
What are the 5 most common beliefs? So this can come in the form of a journal entry, or if you're meditating, or even taking a walk. If you really take a few moments and think about the most common beliefs you heard growing up from your parents or your grandparents or your teachers or anybody. Or the other way to look at this is, what are the 5 beliefs or most common beliefs that you've picked up along the way that may no longer serve you? So that may sound like, I love this one, money is the root of all evil.
Yep.
Or you can't be rich and spiritual. That was a big one for me.
Right.
Like, I can't be rich and spiritual at the same time. Like, if I'm spiritual, I'm supposed to be on a mountain eating a bowl of rice. Well, whoever said that?
If you're rich or snooty or, or whatever the connotation is that, you may have when you think about people who have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was another one of mine. You have to work hard to make money.
Yep. And we address this a lot in other ways too. You know, we talk about the PPC balance and having that, that work-live balance in your life. And it's right here too. You don't have to work hard to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you live that balanced life and you're joyful in what you're doing and you're joyful in what you're creating. You know, you may not be working hard. You just may be having fun and making money at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So what's PPC balance? I mean, I know you just said it, but.
Oh, it's your production versus your production capability.
Yeah.
So it essentially is your horsepower for creating.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Very cool. What's something else? What's one of those beliefs that registered for you that may no longer serve you?
It's lonely at the top, or you're alone or something, I guess. I mean, I feel like it was always like, you know, if you have a lot of money or you're rich or you're abundant in money, then you're kind of singled out. Like you're at the top of the mountain. It's lonely up there, kind of thing.
Yep. I heard this one a lot. You have to save for a rainy day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which I understand. Conserve before you multiply. But, you know, to continually save for a rainy day to the point where you don't feel abundant in the money that you're making, that's a whole nother mindset.
Mm-hmm. Or that you can't spend any of your money because you have to save it all.
Right.
Or that you're
what I'm saying.
Literally consciously creating a rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah. So number 5, write a love letter to money. Now this came from a book that we read.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Gosh, we love that book. Shout out to you, Jen Sincero, you goddess, money goddess. So the book is called You Are a Badass at Making Money. Master the Mindset of Wealth. So we'll include a link to that in our show notes for sure, because literally I bought a whole stack of these books for a mastermind accountability group that we are part of. And well, first of all, she's an amazing writer and she's
so funny,
super funny. Mm-hmm. And it's very real life. It's very appropriate. It's very current, and she's hilarious. Mm-hmm. And so she really gets in there and unearths a lot of garbage that really no longer serves us. And so she presents it in a way that really allows us to look at it and think twice about it and question and, you know, does this fit or does this not fit? And that's all of the things that I really appreciated about the book. So there's definitely exercises in the book. And this is one of them where she talks about writing a love letter to money. And, you know, when I think about this, it's really when I wrote my love letter to money, I realized the true nature of the relationship that I had with money. And how she talks about the exercise is like literally, if I was going to write a love letter to you, babe, then I would include all of the adjectives. And I love how we do this. And when we did this, and do you remember this? It was my favorite moment. And just really a beautiful love letter. And my love letter to money wasn't so beautiful in the beginning. It was more like, look, man, I don't like when you leave and you come back and you're so inconsistent. And I would really prefer if you stayed around more, or you were more abundant, or you showered me with gifts, or, you know, it was like that kind of love letter. So it was fascinating.
I remember this time when we were in another business and we were cashing out of the business, and we got, I don't know, and this is years ago, but we got a check for 20,000 or 25 or 50. I don't even know. It was a while ago, but I do remember, like, you know, it was more money than you and I had experienced, you know, like that, you know, all at once, liquid, here you go kind of thing. And man, did we cook through that quick. You know, I mean, you know, and I see the example of, you know, the millionaires, you know, they say that the lottery winners, you know, they go bankrupt within a couple of years because they don't have the thermostat to the maturity to handle the money. Mm-hmm. And I remember us going through that cash. It was pretty quick. And I didn't really feel like we had changed a whole lot, but somehow that money disappeared. It's not like we took off and went to Paris, or
Right.
we didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Right? No,
No,
we
we
didn't.
didn't. It was just
and that
stupid
money,
shit.
yeah, and that money disappeared quick.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I love that love letter thing, because you can address those things
Mm-hmm.
and say what's up, and you don't have to take off. You can stick around, and there's more of me to come.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know. This was years ago, and I know that we didn't have the thermostat, the capability to handle that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, it's a collaborative, just like a relationship, it's a collaborative effort. And so by you beginning this dialogue with money, I mean, in essence, you could take this exercise a step further and then have money write a letter back to you as if you're preparing yourself for receiving the money, because it is, again, if it's an energy exchange, and it is, then you're in a position where you're giving to money, and then money is giving to you. So you are practicing receiving the abundance. And so that's fantastic. Thank you for that example.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see here. We got a couple more points here to make. 6, fund your abundance fund.
Yeah. So Dave Ramsey, financial peace.
And if you haven't studied Dave Ramsey, or even taken a look at it, is a great place to start as well. And
absolutely.
and again, Nancy and I are here just to give you options and show you that there are lots of possibilities and ways to wrap your head around your finances and your financial thermostat.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've done financial peace a couple of times, the full program. And so Dave does call it an emergency fund, and we have changed that intentionally. Again, words do have vibration, and words carry energy. And so we carry it, or we call it an abundance fund. And so it's baby step number 1. It's get to that step as fast as you can. So it's $500, it's $1,000, $2,000 in cash, available, easy access in your house, wherever you want to put it in your house. This isn't a show about about safety or any of those things, but it's literally having that money available in your house for you, ready. And if you start with $500, then do your $500. And what are those things that you can do? Can you sell something? Can you have a side hustle? Anything that you can do on the side to get to that $500. If you need to start with $100, I have one of my coaching clients she started at $100. I have another guy who started at $75, and it's like, okay, cool. Get to $75, get to $100, then move your marker out to $500. Ultimately, your marker is $1,000 or $2,000 in cash in your house at all times. And then while we're on that, another cool thing that Jen Sincero talks about in the Badass book, and we call it the Green Money Book, or the Green Book. So if you hear us refer to it
as the Green Book,
then that's what it is, because it's neon green color. So she talks about the money around the house, so that you are literally, again, surrounded by money at all times. So if it's $25 here, or $100 here, or a jar of change here, or there may be an envelope of money in a book somewhere, or anywhere around the house, you are literally saying to yourself, man, I'm surrounded by money at all times. The other cool thing that you get to say is, money is available to me at all times.
Yes.
So it's really cool. So if you practice, or you put that into practice in your house, and then you're in your car and you got Bill J in your ear going, look at these millions of dollars in cars that are surrounding you in this traffic, then literally you can take that with you wherever you go. And that zhuzh, that feeling, that energy of wealth and abundance at all times. At all times.
And you can go into money mantras with that as well. Because you're talking about being surrounded by the abundance and reminding yourself of that. And other reminders are, I love money because it's the root of all things awesome.
Oh yeah, which is the rewrite of money is the root of all evil. No, it's not. I love money because it's the root of all things awesome. Boom.
I am a money magnet.
I love it. I know that's an OG. But it's an oldie but goodie. It's still And the boys still, whenever they find change, Luke did it the other day. Mama, I found a dime. Oh my gosh. I'm a money magnet.
Yep.
It's
Every
a great
time.
one for kids.
Yep. And, if it makes you feel funny saying these, well, just understand that that's you growing, because, you're not, there may be a point, and there have been points, and you probably wouldn't be listening to this if you have addressed money.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do make you feel a little funny, be with that and be okay with it, because not everybody's going to be comfortable saying, I'm a money magnet, and screaming it when they find a penny on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you get comfortable with saying that you are a money magnet, or saying that I love money because it's the root of all things awesome, when you get comfortable with that, you have successfully raised your thermostat by some degree.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
I love money because it lets me be the most I can be.
Mm-hmm.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Last one. I love money because it gives me freedom and options.
Yes.
I love
all
that one
money
too.
mantras.
Yes.
So you could just roll around. You could put these on your phone and have them come up as reminders throughout the day, or you can record your own voice and go to sleep with these as at the end of the day, or if you're taking a nap or during a meditation. Money mantras are super important. I am known to have dry erase marker on my mirror at all times with different mantras or whatever it is that I'm working on, or hashtags, or any of those things, any mindset practices that I may be writing down as a reminder. It's awesome. Very cool. Ooh.
What?
This is my favorite.
What's that?
I think this is my favorite.
What's that?
I love playing the checkbook game.
The checkbook game is pretty awesome. That was one we learned in a real estate class, actually.
Yeah.
And I haven't done that one in a while. I've done it a few times.
Yeah, we've done it. Yeah.
And we've done it with the boys at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, let's say now, so you get 1,000, you get your journal out, and you get $1,000 a day. Well, no, the first day you get $1,000.
Yes.
The second day you get.
The first day you get $1,000.
And you got to spend
all $1,000, and you write it down in your check register or your journal,
right?
Whatever it is that you're spending that money on. And then
the next,
so it zeros, you zero out the check balance.
Right. Go ahead.
And then the next day you get $2,000, and you write down what you spend the $2,000 on. So I spent $1,000 on clothes for me. Boom, zero. Next day, $2,000. Okay, so I'll spend $1,000 on clothes for Bill. Okay, cool. And another $1,000 of clothes or shoes for Nancy. Boom, zero.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, you get $4,000.
So it doubles every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then what do you spend the $4,000 on? Okay, cool. So I'm going to pay my mortgage for 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, whatever it is. Boom. Okay, zero. The next day, so now we're on day 4, you get $8,000. What do you spend $8,000 on one day? See, now it starts to get a little crazy. Mm-hmm. And you're like, whoa. Okay, so $8,000. Okay, that may be, pay off my credit card or pay off my car, or it may not be. It may be pay for my kid's school or buy a year's worth of groceries or whatever that may be. Okay, cool. Boom, zero. Next day, $16,000.
So understand the concept. It doubles every day, and every day you're going to find ways to spend that money, and there's going to be a point where you're going to have to stretch your imagination a little bit to spend the money. It's not going to be, I paid the kids' tuition and my mortgage off for the next few months, and because you're not doing things twice. Let's just put it that way. So you continue to spend the money, and you're going to get to a point where you actually have to think about what you're spending the money on.
Yeah, and there's going to be agita that comes up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, oh my gosh, $32,000. I have to spend $32,000 today. Another one of my coaching clients, they're playing the checkbook game, and he's like, Nancy, I've never spent $16,000 in one day. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. What are you going to do? And he's like, man, I got to really think about this. And I said, yeah, you do. You go through the emotion. You go through the turmoil, oh my gosh, how do I do this? Is this the right decision? Is this the wrong? Like all of those amazing things and emotions, because you're literally going through spending $16,000 a day. So we do this exercise for 2 weeks, and you can do the math on how much is on day 14 that you're spending. It's a lot of money. Bill and I have done this exercise for 30 days before, which is a lot of money. And it really is fascinating.
Yeah,
So,
you'll stretch.
for sure.
It'll definitely help to fire some neurons that have not fired before. Let's put it that
Absolutely.
way. And you know what happens is once you expand, you can't stuff it back in. So this is one that we really recommend that you put into practice.
Absolutely. Woo. Definitely a favorite.
Cool. So and at the end of the day, you really got to know your numbers, right? This is number 9.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. I mean, a lot of folks don't know their numbers. And again, if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you want to go. You don't know how far you can expand to. So what is incoming? That's income. What's outgoing? Those are your expenses. So what are they? What are your living expenses? What's your income coming in from real estate or for whatever work that you do? You have to know those things. And then it's your relationship. If you dread doing a budget, then it's an opportunity to look at your relationship to a budget.
Because when you put this stuff together and you actually put together a budget, that is what we call looking money in the eyes.
Absolutely. For sure. And then once you know income and expenses for just normal necessities for your living, then you get to talk about traveling and exploration and family time or couple time, or what are those experiences that you want to experience? Do you want a house? How about a vacation home or a boat? Do you want to own an island? Do you want to go to the moon? Like, all of these things come into play. And yes, like, that's happening, folks. We tell our kids all the time, y'all are going to Mars, so you better start saving.
Right.
I mean, that's a very real possibility. So what are your BHAGs? What are your big, hairy, audacious goals? Write them down. Know how much they cost. Bill and I want to take the boys to the North Pole. Guess how much it costs? It's going to cost us to go to the North Pole. $50,000 a person. Yeah. $50,000 a person.
Yeah, that made us gasp a little bit.
So, we contacted the company. We figured out when and the time of year and how long we're going to go on this exploration. And that's a BHAG.
Yeah. And, and look at how there was action taken on that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm here to tell you that it's not necessarily in our immediate budget to go to, to go to the North Pole.
Right.
And yet it's not going to happen if we don't at least explore it some and figure out what it looks like.
Yep. So, yes. So what are your BHAGs? Write them down. Know how much it's going to cost. Could be a charity.
Yeah, charities are huge too. Mm-hmm. It can be a charity or, some cause that you support.
Absolutely.
And this really does need to be, I'm saying that purposely, a part of your financial plan. Mm-hmm. If it's 1% or 3% or 5% or 10%, whatever it is, needs to go, whatever you're bringing in needs to go back out. Because as we said in the beginning of this podcast, money is currency, and the currency needs to swirl.
Yes,
that's what in currency.
Yeah,
and what goes around comes around.
Yes,
if you are able to in a place to donate $100, I guarantee you that $100 is going to come back to you tenfold. It may not look like $100 bill. It may show up in other ways, in other relationships or other things. And it's up to you to figure out and put your finger on what that magic is. And yet it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Because
no question.
Yep.
Time and time again that we see evidence of that. Yeah. And then in regard to knowing your numbers also, what are you passionate about investing in? What are your multiple streams of income? Identifying 5 to 7 multiple streams of income. What are they? Where could they be? Again, side hustles, your investment strategy. This is besides your income that is coming in, like your main source of income. 5 to 7 aside from your income. And so one of the things that Bill and I do is we love health and fitness. We are passionate about our health and fitness. One of our BHAGs, our big, hairy, audacious goals, is to live to 125 years plus. So how do we do that? Health and fitness, sustainability. That's how we coach. And so we invested in a health and fitness and consciousness app. So we're early adopters, we're beta testers, we're investors in the Your Day Balance Game app. So we believe in that. We're passionate about it. We're bringing it to the world. Our goal is 1 billion watchers on the app. And it's something that we've been working on for the last 8 years. So it's a passion of ours.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you passionate about? What could you get behind? What startup company could you utilize or bolster or contribute your gifts, talents, and passions? So again, know your numbers. How much is it going to cost? How much are you going to contribute?
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Yep.
And
What's
what
next,
about,
babe? What's next?
I think creating a vision board.
Oh, for sure. That's a great one. That's a great one to do as a family. You know, the like a money vision board or
Mm-hmm.
a financial vision board or anything associated with things that you're looking to physically attract and manifest in your life is creating a vision board.
For sure. And it puts it out there. You put it up somewhere. It's always in your line of vision. And, and whether, it's just there. And whatever you put out there, you're going to attract. So put it up there. And lastly is, we talk about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you, I don't know how many episodes we've said this. Hire a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Hire a coach. We have coaches for many areas of our life. It's not just one person does all. Actually, I have another one after this one.
Oh, a bonus.
I just a bonus one. But hire a coach because, we have a financial coach.
Yep.
Right? We have a health and fitness coach.
Yep.
What other coaches do we have? We had a real estate coach for a while.
Yep, we did. Yep. We have a life coach.
We have a life coach.
We have physical trainers.
Yes.
Like, personal trainers.
We surround ourselves by people who know more about the things that we want to know about than we do.
We have a podcast coach.
We have a podcast coach. Yeah.
We're each in an accountability group of 7 people where we lead accountability on 7 habits of highly effective people and literally teach and coach other people about sustainability. So we are surrounded by accountability and coaches.
Yeah, hire a coach. You are not going to raise your thermostat unless you hang out with people who have a higher thermostat than you.
Mm-hmm.
And here's bonus number 12.
Yes.
And it's the same thing. It's hire or hang out with people that have a higher consciousness, a higher thermostat than you do around things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're selling $250,000 homes and you want to get a raise, well, you better start hanging out with people that can afford to buy a $500,000 home, whatever that shift looks like. And I'm not going to solve it for you here, but you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hang out with people who can afford a $5,000 house.
$500,000.
$500,000.
Not a $5,000 house.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to hang out, if you're looking to increase your, and here everyday examples are, if you want to increase your run, you hang out with a running group and with people who run more than you do. Why wouldn't you hang out with people that make more money or know how to attract more money than you do? They're happy to hang out with you. People love to share. So I know how it can feel a little daunting at times. It was a little daunting for me when I was prospecting at the Four Seasons.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I would go to the bar at the Four Seasons and prospect because I wanted a raise.
It worked.
Oh, it worked. Of course it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. So that's it. And then, while you're doing all of that, a couple of things you can do, you can put into a place immediately and take massive action. And a couple of things that we have done is, all those fancy clothes, I'm finger quoting, those really nice clothes that you have in the back of your closet that you don't take out unless there's a party or something, fancy to go to. Wear the dang clothes. Wear your nice clothes around. You deserve to wear the nice clothes that you bought. Wear those around. Wear the jewelry. Wear the shoes. Wear the stuff. You're worth it. You're worth it. So put on your put on your dancing shoes and go out and stretch your stuff because you're totally worth that. Buy some things that make you feel wealthy. It doesn't have to cost, the things don't have to cost a fortune. But what would happen if you're at the grocery store and you bought the fanciest peanut butter instead of the store brand peanut butter because it's good enough? What would it look like? And remember some times that you have felt like you were in that vibration of money and wealth. And I know everybody's felt that at one time or another. And go back and visit that. Write it down. Think about it. Go back through the memory and transmute that into what you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's what I got.
Awesome. Let's give away this thing.
Okay, so here's the deal. We did buy a whole bunch of these books, You Are a Badass, and we gave them away at Making Money, and we gave them away to a whole bunch of our friends and network and stuff like that. And then in the process, Nancy and I each had one of our own to read. And what we're realizing is we don't need two of these around the house.
Mm-hmm.
So we're wondering who would like a copy of You Are a Badass at Making Money?
Yes. And it will be autographed by Bill Jameson and Nancy Jameson. Yours truly. Your favorite podcast hosts, Sex, Money, and Real Estate.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So leave a comment or reach out to us and
let us know that you want it.
Yeah, let us know that you want it. And we're happy to stick it in the mail and send it to you.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. So we'll see who dials that in. And if you have questions or want to talk about this or anything else that you've heard in our episodes, give us a shout at sexmoneyrealestate@gmail.com.
Yep.
Instagram, we're on there.
Yep. At Sex Money Real Estate.
Where else are we at? Facebook.
Oh yeah, our Facebook group.
And we're even on YouTube now.
We are on YouTube.
If you want to listen to our podcast through the YouTube, through the YouTube.
You're so old.
You can do that too. Awesome. So all for now. Love goes out.
Yes.
Peace.
Love you guys. Bye.
Wow, what a show. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're inspired, we ask that you share the podcast with one person and subscribe and follow the show. I'm Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And remember, it's
a great life. Quick note about the Sex, Money, and Real Estate podcast. We are not doctors or licensed therapists. We are a joyous, abundant, and mature couple passionately sharing our story of growth around sex, money, and real estate. Our thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are our own, so please consult your doctor, healthcare provider, or your broker regarding any questions or issues you have related to your physical or mental health or specific state laws regarding your real estate business.